Hey, what's up guys, TheJordude here, back again with another Shadowverse deck and gameplay video. If you guys didn't know, they had the Shadowverse open last weekend, and I competed in it, and I played against quite a few interesting decks. So my opponents weren't bringing just like your standard tier 1 decks. I actually ran into quite a few opponents that had these kind of off-meta decks that I think they tried to bring to counter certain matchups. So one of the decks I came across is this Levin / aggro sword deck, and I thought it was really cool, so I wanted to do a video on it. I don't think it's not very good against decks like Machina Blood, of course, because Machina Blood kind of just rolls over everything. But this deck was like really good against Dragon in particular, against my lineup. I'm not too sure what other good matchups it would have, but yeah, it's a very interesting deck because the other sword deck that I featured, like the Evolve Sword, is a pretty slow deck. But in contrast, this has some of the same cards, but plays completely different. So like we still have like the Kagemitsu because it's just a very powerful card, and you can combo him with your Rico Wildcat later on. As you can see, we don't have Courtly Dance, however, and now we actually have a lot of different Levin cards. So one of the more powerful Levin cards in this deck is actually this Levin Apprentice. It's quite good. If you open up with her in the beginning of the game and you have a bunch of Levin cards in your hand, like my opponent just played turn 1, 1-4, for example. So this card could get pretty nutty. Other good cards is actually Levin Beastmaster. The Enhanced 6 is quite good against certain matchups because the White Tigers are 3/2 wards and they can't be targeted. So you could go really wide on the board all suddenly with this card. If you evolve her as well, you get another tiger. So you could get 3 tigers essentially on turn 6 with this card. Because you could go wide on the board with like that, it does go well with like Stroke of Conviction. The Enhanced 6 could be quite good. You could get a lot of burst damage. But also just the Enhanced 6 is good because you get 2 Quick Bladers that 2/2 Storm, deal 5 to random enemy faller. So pretty good card in the deck. We are running Amelia. This card is just a good card to splash into because it lets you draw more cards, and it just has like a good evo effect. Enhanced 7 you could get a bit later into the late game. This game doesn't have too much late game. Ideally, if you are getting to the late game though, you do want to probably set up like a Kagemitsu with a Rigo Wildcat as your finisher. Mirror Image is also mainly used for the Kagemitsu, but you could use this card for like, you could give it to like a Quick Blader or an Albert or like even a Rigo Wildcat just to get extra storm damage in. So yeah, this deck is quite aggressive. There's a lot of storm cards in this deck. So you are trying to win the game around the mid game. So yeah, but it's a pretty cool deck. So if you are looking for a different sword deck to try out, give this deck a try. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And comment down below which sword deck is your favorite at the moment, because there's like Evo Sword, Machina Sword, and there's like this Levin Sword. Yeah, so enjoy the video guys, enjoy the games, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. We're playing against a Dragoncraft, so like this is one of the matchups where I should be favored in, I think. Dragon just kind of can't keep up unless they have like a really insane opening. Levin Justice going first isn't as good here. The Kagemitsu, maybe I could keep the Kagemitsu, I don't know. This hand's not that great going first though, because Kagemitsu I want to play on turn 3, but against Dragon is not that good. I think I could actually FOMO this hand, just because it wasn't really doing much. This is a much better hand. It's pretty aggressive, so going first I could get a lot of chip damage in, which I like. This counts as self? Huh. I guess it does. So yeah, it looks like what I could go for is Stroke of Conviction. I could go double Quick Bladers, and then on turn 4 I could go Stroke of Conviction again. Because next turn he can't Evo, right? I could play Lunas, but Stroke of Conviction here is way better. Get the double Quick Bladers. We could also get +1 on everything with the Baelion's command, but right now the Quick Bladers are just better to go wide. The one problem is if my opponent has Genesis Dragon next turn, but it's kind of unlikely for Genesis Dragon. Most people are only running 1, if any. Some people don't even run any Genesis, so if he doesn't have any here, we are good. So yeah, that's now Genesis, luckily. Into a Desert Pathfinder. I could just remove that with Levin Justice and then Stroke. Now do I want 2/2s or do I just want more 1/1s? If I get 2 1/1s, I'm actually missing out 1 damage, so I think I actually want to buff my board by 1 each. Going wider could also be good though, but I think this is fine. My opponent's already at 7. So cards like Albert would be good. He has to have like another Tyrannosaur, or I guess Cherub works as well. Okay, Cherub doesn't remove, it's just healing. It's not as good. If he had like 3 Machinas, then that would be pretty nutty, but luckily Natural Dragon is kind of hard for them to get the Machina count up unless they played Steel Wing. So this turn I could go Lunas. It's going to become a 3/5 if I evolve her. And then I could double trade. It's not great. I'd rather just evolve to push face, honestly. Right now he's at 5, I put him to 3. I believe Albert's a commander? Is he a commander, Levin? I'm not too sure. I do need to remove that. I actually think going double Uri's is better. I just gotta push more damage. Next turn I could go Gelt plus Lunas, I think. Because next turn, right, he wants to play Nam. Nam actually puts him to 1 if he plays it. And then, like, yeah. He can Nam to 1/3, evolve the Nam to kill the other one, but he's only going to be at 1 health. He could... Yeah, actually, it's really hard for him to clear this entire board. Because he has to... I guess he could draw heal, like Respite. Oh yeah, this puts him at 2. Okay, no, it's fine. Do the Respite. Hopefully he doesn't have a Steel Storm Dragon Newt. Then the double evolve would be annoying if he could clear both. Doesn't look like he has it, so the Urius sticks. It has to, yeah, the Urius has to stick here. He can't play any followers here, otherwise he just kills himself. Alright, that's just lethal. Albert is indeed not an officer. I think Portalcraft is going to be a hard matchup. Like, they just get onto the board, and if we lose board, it's hard. Yeah, because if I go really aggressive, they could just heal up, and then also they could set up wards. So I'm not sure how we could win this matchup actually, but it probably has something to do with not just ignoring all the artifacts and just going face and hope I get there. Because if I kill artifacts, he's going to get his paradigm shifts active. Next turn we have Kagemitsu, possibly, but I think the Stroke of Conviction might be better. I could go Stroke of Conviction for, this is actually a pretty hard turn. I could go Stroke for +1 on my board, and then I could get Value Trade. Or I could just buff my board and go face. I could also Kagemitsu this 2/2. Kagemitsu isn't that great right now because I don't have evolves. Stroke of Conviction does get a little bit better later on turn 6 if I'm holding it for turn 6. I think I'll go for the Kagemitsu this turn. It's actually really hard because I think there's a line where Stroke of Conviction was good either as a +1 on my 2 followers or also summoning 2 Quick Bladers. Okay, so he did get analyzing artifact from the first. Oh, this is pretty good. So this is threatening my board, but I could stroke a conviction here. Quick bladers or the buff. The buff, my Kagemitsu is becoming a 2/2. I can make him a 3/3. I could value trade here. Could be Kagemitsu again, actually. I think this trade happens. I could Kagemitsu again to just trade his and then go face. Because I think the Kagemitsu sets up well into the Albert next turn. I think we just go face here. Next turn, I could possibly push 6 if Levin survives. Okay, he didn't have the 4/3, which I think would have been better for him. Right now, his paradigm shift is costing 5. This is going to be 4 and then 3, so he does get a paradigm shift next turn. Full clear here. If I evolve to Albert, this Kagemitsu goes over his 4/4. I think it's good. Like, my turn 6, I have different options, so I think this turn we gotta do the Albert. So this forces him to get the Bane artifact from the paradigm shift if he does the paradigm shift this turn. I think that's his only way of removing the Albert as well. The thing is, like, okay, no, we have Stroke of Conviction, so if he goes the Bane artifact this turn, we could just remove a Stroke of Conviction, unless he plays another Faller, then it's RNG'd. Gale gains Rush when there's a commander in play. I don't have any commanders, so the Bane artifact would have 3 health. The Kagemitsu doesn't go over it, so I guess I'd have to just RNG the Stroke of Conviction, if assuming he plays 2 Fallers. Right now, how many Fallers destroyed? 6, 7, 8, 9. So you could be starting to get close in the range of like Rigo Tiger possibly being an out. You have to trade everything into this, which is pretty good. How many artifacts has that been now, though? 2, 4, 6. So yeah, his paradigm shift is only costing 1. So here's the problem, right? If I go Kagemitsu, if I go Stroke of Conviction is better next turn because I have Quick Blader. So I could go Quick Blader plus Stroke, and that's 6 damage, plus my Evil is 8 damage. Now, if he plays the Drain artifact, he heals up, and he probably uses his Evil to heal up as well. So he would go up to 13, and I get out of range. If I could avoid his Drain by not playing a Faller or not leaving a Faller up on the board this turn, but then he's going to play Ward. So, oops. Okay, whatever. Well, the Kagemitsu comes in, and next turn is going to be at 4 Evil, so it's going to be at 5 health, and then the it's going to be at 5 attack plus my Evil. I could put it up to 6 attack, so it could actually go over the 4/6 unless he evolves the 4/6. So if he evolves the 4/6, he's pretty big brain. But if he doesn't, he loses because my Quick Blader plus Stroke of Conviction would kill him. So it really depends if he's playing around Quick Blader plus Stroke of Conviction, I think. And also Stroke of Conviction actually has a chance of getting the 5 damage onto his 4/6, which would let my Kagi managed to get through. So I think the key thing this turn was just to not have any followers on the board, just to play around the drain. And the 4-6 we have outs, depending on how he plays, and then we also have like RNG. But he just didn't even play any. I guess he's holding it for the drain, which would kind of make sense as well. But yeah, this matchup I think is really tough, but we somehow got there.